What is good, y'all? We're back. Playing UFC, and we might play some other games, but um,
We're 26 subs away from 100.
so if you wanna be a fucking real one, you should hit that subscribe button.
Says they believe, and what the public, who has now at this point seen most of the same files, they believe. If anything, the FBI, by definition, have access to more evidence. And yet, with the files that we already do have, 94% of the public say, yeah, Epstein obviously trafficking, but the FBI, of course, isn't investigating new parties. They say there's no evidence for it.
Who anyone, Epstein trafficked young women too, besides himself.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case.
Trash ass
Any
fucking
traffic to
Wi-Fi.
Other individuals. The information we have again is limited.
So the answer is no one.
For the information that we have
In the files.
in the case file.
He's adding in that we have in the case file. These are two qualifying statements that reduce the scope of the accuracy of what his statement is. And he's doing that in order to justify not naming anybody else.
Okay, even if you believe what he said,
Obviously,
after the revelation, that the FBI themselves thought there were murders in the draft indictment, later said they thought they had 10
even the FBI thought there were
murders. Now you're supposed to believe, no women were trafficked to any of these people. He was working alone.
It's a mystery.
It might be surprising to learn that the DOJ and FBI under Kanye and Kash Patel, who ran on the idea of releasing files, have not talked to people who say they were victimized by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that's insane.
Different times. I want to watch both of them. Astonishing. We have no credible evidence on other perpetrators. Learn.
They didn't talk to victims.
Never talk to the women who were allegedly trafficked.
You guys need to see, like, this is it's actually crazy how bad faith these people are. It's unreal. The files are already wiped before they got in office.
Like, how bad is your fucking Wi-Fi, dude?
Like, censored, like, 3 times.
15 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims.
Yep.
Some of them never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the director to
Is the
invite all
answer yes or no
investigative
to
leads.
whether or not you met with these women who were
Any insinuation by you or any people on your side
Yeah, because the answer's no.
not manhunting child. The speaker staff. You talk about cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
Talk about cover-ups.
Stop it there. It just devolved. He refused to answer the question of
She got the thing is that, like, it is so embarrassing to see
did
this
you
happen.
actually meet? Luckily for us, some of those same people showed up at another
Bondi.
hearing, time in a hearing with Pam Bondi.
Oh boy.
survivors in the room. If you are willing, stand.
Surprised there's so few of them.
And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
Oh wow.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand.
That's honestly shocking.
How about
to see.
that?
For people who are claiming to be victims of Epstein, the DOJ and FBI have consistently said, look, we want to take all available evidence.
If I lose to this motherfucking caveman, I swear, dude. Bro, like, is he like lag switching me or what, dude? Like, oh my gosh, this lag, dude. Oh my gosh, he just touches me one time, dude. He just touches me one time and I fall, bro. And he's fucking lagging like crazy.
We've continuously publicly asked for the public to come forward with more information. If there is, we'll look at it.
And
So
it's like,
wait. So they're asking the public to come forward with information, but they also don't interview that were victims. Like, guys, this is seeming a little bit weird. What's going on with this?
they have evidence. Well,
technically we did.
It's coming up again.
Now, with the survivors and victims who are here, please stand up. Time. Just by show of hands, how many of you, your loved ones, actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and
Can't even block because it's fucking delayed.
Wow. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually, a lawyer representative, to offer to provide testimony and evidence?
Yep, no surprise.
What's
Embarrassing.
This is a huge FBI.
It claims to be interested in getting to the bottom of the Epstein files, except it actually acts. They cover up, they redact, and they don't ask for victim testimony evidence.
I mean, this, right? It's because it is bad by design. They're doing it wrong and they're doing it wrong in order to complicate things. That's what I think's happening.
Possibly say you to an investigation. We haven't talked to the people, the victim of said investigation. Furthermore, how can Cash Patel say under oath, without perjuring himself, there was no critical evidence that Epstein trafficked anyone else? Internal 710 director. It says approximately 5 victims, other adult men, abusing them. There's not enough evidence to federally charge these individuals. These were referred to local law enforcement. Again, there's a huge difference between there's no credible evidence.
There is no credible information. None.
And we could pull charges. That's a totally different.
Oh my gosh, like this game is so bad, bro. So fucking bad. Like it's just lagging the whole fucking time. Yeah.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Like, bro, this game is such fucking bullshit, bro. Such bullshit.
Investigate that? Isn't the whole point to call more of the people saying they have evidence?
Like,
Isn't
what the
that
fuck are
job?
these?
How can the FBI, the DOJ,
There's Chris
conclude
Sixway.
definitively that Epstein
Motherfucker.
wasn't trafficking to anyone when Jess Staley, during a UK court hearing in 2025, admitted to having sex with a member of Epstein's staff? He, of course, described it as sensual, but internally within the Epstein files, there's accusations against Jess Staley. One of the files alleges that
This is actually quite common, and I think that some people are getting confused by this because there's some instances where you have people who are actually victims, but they were also co-conspirators. So they were groomed by Epstein, and then once they got old enough, they became the groups. So whenever you look at it, and you're hearing that like it's one or the other, sometimes it's not one or the other, it's both.
victim was left with body marks after an interaction with the former Barclays boss. The disgusting Mr. Staley, if anyone ever calls me again, I will lose my mind. Which I know sounds weird that Jess Staley would allegedly refer to a girl as some type of like Disney character or cartoon character.
Tinkerbell's pretty small, huh?
But this is consistent with picture exchanges. Jess Staley says that was fun to Jeffrey Epstein. Say hi to Snow White. What character would you like next? Epstein later asked.
the
To which Staley replied, Beauty and the Beast. Epstein responded, well, one side is available.
It's Bella, right?
In this game, your heroes will die. A lot. Every defeat, a new hero takes on. A new journey begins, just as deadly for another rookie hero. However, the relics those predecessors earned can be kept. And creatures once tamed will still fight alongside you. Each run, your hero goes further and grows stronger, until you finally tread on the final and conquer it all.
It's her, isn't it? Like, I hope so.
Saying these would be charged, but to investigate?
Yeah.
Almost certainly. It's definitely unconscionable to say there's zero evidence of Epstein trafficking to anyone.
There is no credible information. None.
How can that possibly be true?
There's no credible. Like, again, that's not enough of a preponderance of evidence to investigate, but zero? I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? Why would you even say that?
When some of your files say 4 or 5 victims accused other men. So it's just totally insane to me the way we are all treating this, where the people
Nah,
in
that
power
dude
whose
actually
job it is to
got
hold
his
these people
fucking ass
accountable,
beat.
they want to laugh about it, they want to joke, they want you to smile about the whole thing. This actually came to a head when one reporter asked about the survivors.
But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something like
Mr. President.
something that people care about. This reporter, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
About survivors.
Someone's not smiling because you know you're not telling the truth.
Honestly baffling. I mean, how are we supposed to act during the Epstein files when we hear about these? Y'all supposed to be like Howard Lutnick, just fine?
To be fair, Scott Bassett was also smiling about it too. Yeah. They thought this shit was hilarious.
Laughing it out? How are we supposed
Oh
to
my
accept
God.
this travesty of justice? And again, I want to restate for the millionth time, this is not political, no matter how much the DOJ and FBI try to argue that it is. the person we're about to watch questioning Pam Bondi is a Republican. But anytime you say anything negative about the Epstein file handling, with run this administration, they either bounce to, well, you must hate Trump, or the Democrats didn't do it last time, so we shouldn't be expected to do anything either. And you're about to see more.
Within 40 minutes.
It's like, it's obviously they're both wrong. I don't even see how this is a debate. It shouldn't even be a debate what's going on. You've had the files for 10 years. Why do you think they hadn't already investigated and done shit from back then? What do you mean, why do I think that? It's because people, the powerful, controlled the decision of doing that, and they decided not to do it. Obviously, that's the reason why. Like, why would you even ask that? It's very clear that's the reason for why it didn't happen. Duh.
Minutes. Webster's name was added back in.
40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
That's right. That's right.
One redaction.
It's more, actually.
August 100, and we invited you in. This is truck derangement syndrome.
Literally, we caught you guys redacting a co-conspirator name. It's a lot more than that. But it's like, for them to say,
By the way, I don't like the questioning format that they do in Congress where you can run out the clock. I don't like that. It's structured around bad faith behavior.
When you said so, when you caught us on our 4 computers, we allowed you to do redactions on top of redactions. And Pam Bondi's performance here was so bad that at one point she asked about, are you right anymore? Should I
up the stock market?
Investigating it. And she jumps back to some pretty bizarre talking points.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you investigating?
First, you showed it. I find.
How many have you?
Excuse me. Answer the question.
Answer my question.
Answer the question. Oh, wait.
Say it again. Back in the day, whenever we did rated battlegrounds like RBGs, there was a rule my RBG leader had, and it was that we always attack the healer that was regardless of what class that they were playing or regardless of their gear, because the assumption was that women would crack under the pressure. I got Grand Marshal that season. That's the highest rank. Crazy how that happens.
Answer the question.
No, it's the question the way I asked it.
And none of this.
Crazy. Brilliant.
Merrick Garland, over the last 4 years, one word about Jeffrey Epstein. Ironic is that, you know what? Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000.
This is a legendary crash out, by the way. This in any real normal
So to justify Epstein, they bring up Trump in the stock market.
would be a career-ending crash out that by the end of the day she was fired.
And
It
the
should be.
NASDAQ smashing
Absolutely should be.
Americans 401k.
She's right though. She's not right. Like, the stock market has nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't. Like, you interviewing and dealing with the survivors, redacting things that shouldn't be redacted on the Epstein files, and the stock market, if this is a Venn diagram, they're 2 separate circles. They don't have anything to do with Jerry Epstein.
Retirement savings
That's right.
are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does the Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just
That's the
asked.
question.
Are you kidding?
No, I do want to know,
yeah,
what does
I'm
the
actually
Dow have
curious.
to do with Jeffrey Epstein victim?
Yeah.
I truly don't understand.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this whole thing was complete
Oh my god, is this like a oh my
disaster
god.
of a meltdown.
Yeah, it is.
They're treating it as an absolute joke, and they criticize you if you don't smile like Howard Lutnick when he's not lying about the Epstein files. And while I can't personally muster that kind of energy, I do want to talk about some more of the revelations in the Epstein file. Like, the most noteworthy that Trump Department immediately after Epstein was arrested, according to a police chief that was interviewed in 2019. He says back when he arrested Epstein the first time, Trump called him and said, "Thank goodness for stopping him. Everyone is known." Thank
Fucking based. Absolutely fucking based.
Maxwell, she's evil, and to focus on her, according to the police chief,
As I said, nobody liked that bitch.
Trump was one of the first people to call. Dave Brown said that when Trump called the chief, after the Epstein story became public, arrested.
Yep.
This actually goes a long way to explain Speaker Mike Johnson's previous comments that Trump blew the whistle to the FBI to stop
I think
Epstein.
that makes sense.
It's obvious that he probably just misunderstood that it was an FBI interview of a police chief at the time, Palm Beach Department handling that case. And I think that even for the people who say, okay, that's just because they had a falling out over or anything like that, I think it undoubtedly is a good look for Donald Trump and clearly something.
It is. It obviously makes him look all out and say, yeah, it's good that you're getting rid of this guy, and also look at the other person that's involved because they're bad too. Like, it obviously makes him look good.
They're going to hang on to as more of these files get released. Also have something that kind of goes underway. Remember the Wall Street Journal birthday book story, which Trump said is absolutely
Try to look good.
the B-Day book update sent in 2002. Supposedly drafted, and we see LM.
Bro, like, can it let me throw something?
Henry Jarecki and Leon Black, which definitely undermines his case, defamation case.
Oh boy.
Another interesting component of this was realizing that Jeffrey Epstein secretly buying motion-detected hidden cameras that record. And one of the people who said they were installing them said they were installing them into Kleenex boxes.
Get together over the house into the cup. Think.
Oh, see this. This is new to me.
Another email from Jeffrey Epstein where he claims to need a button camera for consultant. Once again, highlighting the Epstein to our case who this guy worked for. Talks about going to an SCIF, which might be an acronym for a sensitive compartmented information facility. Later he says, with me, you would love my tech meeting in the SCIF. This is an intelligence term, which is usually something you need the ability to
I never even heard that before.
classified information for. So it's not clear because later Epstein says that his house is similar to an SCIF.
So he had all the blackmail in his house. Is that what he's saying?
The government is not exactly. I don't want to give the false impression that it was, but it does raise a bunch of questions. Like Bradley Edwards, one of the victim's lawyers, speaks about this in his book. This bodyguard had been sent by Epstein, Virginia, to CIA headquarters.
What? A bodyguard? What the fuck? SCIFs are all parts of the government? Yeah, I've just never even heard of this before.
That was nasty.
Story. The bodyguard said, I don't know why I was there, but he told me terrible. They tended to class.
Bro, better get off this
Just
game because it's not letting me throw it. I want to throw though.
We're in the CIA, a government unit with top secret clearance. I was the only private
I don't know
citizen.
what the fuck
So
this
clearly
is.
there's some indication, some testimony to the fact that Epstein may have had access to either classified briefings or had some pull with the CIA. Now we might know about this because there was actually a FOIA to the CIA about Jeffrey Epstein. Ironically, it was from Jeffrey Epstein.
What?
Saying the Epstein filed FOIA requests.
Wait, you can do that?
Not documents that show that he had a quote open affiliation with the CIA, 1999 and 2011.
Oh my god!
Referring to himself, Epstein did not receive any records. Instead, he got an homage. This refers to a term. Basically, they neither confirmed or denied it because they said that doing so would reveal, quote, a classified.
Oh, okay.
And thus, the CIA cannot show from coordinate.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Being considered this portion a denial of request pursuit exemption.
Yeah,
More specifically, they say we searched the CIA originated responsive records that might reflect an open or otherwise acknowledged agency.
I think this is really what shows everything, right? It's whenever the Thomas Massey and Rokana said that we're going to name the people if you don't name the people, and then they started naming the people. I think what that tells me is that there's a lot of other information that they do have access to, because if that can happen one time, I bet it's happened 50 other times too. It's just that it hasn't come to a head in a public way that people are aware of, right? It's like, again, what I said before about how
I'm
it's like
on
the tip of the
E,
iceberg.
bro.
Which names? That Sultan guy from, I think, the UAE, in Qatar, I forgot which country, but it was one of those countries. And then also that Wexner guy who was apparently like the guy that made Victoria's Secret. I'm pretty sure those are the two.
So these are also the
Sultan
important
guy, yeah.
answers to. It's hard to get this when everything is treated as a joke.
Yeah, there we go.
Nobody takes this serious.
It's crazy how nobody cares about this for the like. It's been shocking to me to see the Epstein files just completely cynically and maliciously used in order to just simply be a weapon to attack the other side of the politic. That's been it. There's no actual reasoning to it or anything else. It's just them going out there and basically just using it to attack somebody else.
All in
Not
all,
secret
this is a
anymore?
very
Yeah, it's
frustrating
weaponized.
story to cover, given how
They don't even care about it.
handling the story, are engaging with it. They're laughing.
Democrats didn't care for 4
they're not
years. No, they
responding,
didn't.
They're us to smile, and in general, they just want us to get over. And I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't
I
think
am
it's going to happen. Either, right? Give me 1 second. I'll pause this. Kind of predicted this. I did in a way, but like it wasn't really anything. So, right, this Coffee Jilla video. Make sure to give it a like. I think his first Epstein video got like 6 or 7 million views. It's fucking insane. This guy's a legend. I've been watching him now for like 3 or 4 years. And yeah, make sure to give it a like too. And very, very, very good video. I think that honestly, this is the worst part about it. And I hate to say this, but I think it's true. I think that nothing is going to change. Really. I don't think that there's going to be any consequences.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious by now. Nothing's fucking happening.
Somebody's getting arrested, or people are going to jail. I think that you're going to have some temporary embarrassment from a handful of people, and otherwise, besides that, everything will be right back to business as usual. I think that's it. Now, it's sad to say that, but I think it's true. And are you going to stroll for more subreddit today? Yeah, I'll look at things on the subreddit. Why not? Either way, they don't think you're stupid. They think there's nothing you can do. That's right. That is exactly it. Nobody can do anything about this. And so they just go out and let it happen. Yep, there it is. And I feel like, in general, just going to continue getting more and more open and brazen. I think they're used to it now, right? Because, like, if you can get away with, like, having a child, like, sex cult island and, you know, like, eat people and shit like this, if you can get away with that, then I feel like you can get away with anything. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I feel like it's true. I feel weird.
Bro, why is that ad right next to the skip button? Like, fuck you.
In the UK, they just launched a new political party. What's up? I see if I can find it. I ain't seen this at all. I'm launching the wait, this is 126,000 likes?
I have checked. Oh. This is quite cool. Effort. Huge. England.
I really gotta say, this is absolute. He's not even, he's just wearing normal clothes.
It's big, you don't think. In life. But see, think, generous. I'm off. That's what. Here on the phone. I am now. National Party. I'm now going to get finding funding. Fighting I can. Thank you. Process. Invitations. Patriot. I'm political.
Patriots. Big word.
France. In local politics. Guys. Such a great yarn. Have the best in finding our forces.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Alright.
The men and women.
No way you won your last game.
Wow. They wonder who he's talking about. I wonder who he's talking about.
science, medicine, inventing every smell outside, every and the I'm not. I have only. As I said.
What are you?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
First time in a very long process. Genuine.
Yep. You call that? I said.
First priority.
First priority. Oh boy. It's finally happening. Yep, this is it. Oh my god. And yes, what a fucking legend. This is insane. I was wondering why they haven't done this before. Well, now it's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not just.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, like, this is insane. Yes. Getting hard to get, bro. Please. Yes, apparently they're already at 10% and they haven't even started yet. Holy fucking shit, he's ramping? Yeah, bro, like, God. Like, I was expecting, I'm gonna be honest, I went in this expecting traditional British way of life slop. No. This guy's talking fucking real shit. Oh my god.
First priority. Store. Every message unread. You were in this country. Now government. Far more people.
Holy fucking shit. That's our thing? Well, hey, it was a great idea. They should use it. This is amazing. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, I mean, look what Trump did. Trump brought in ICE. They rounded people up like crazy. They get rid of people.
If a foreign national unable to.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Aims back.
Take them out! Take them the fuck out!
Crime. To
Yes!
away.
Get the fuck out of here!
Then they must
be made to leave. Dude. The world is healing. Oh, and by the way, I want to say that the process of doing this, very brutal. It will be extremely brutal. It's going to make a lot of Karens cry. And that can tell you that you know you're doing the right thing.
Store Britain, make our community. That.
Yeah, how's that?
That means.
Oh my god. This is insane. Wow. Like, sense, it's common sense. Yeah, this is insane. Like, I'm been waiting on this. Like, this is unbelievable. I love this.
Constantly. Boss. Those.
Nope. Nope. This is not. Bunch of fucking, like, replaced by robots and gotta bring in a bunch of these clowns for it. Don't do shit.
Get healthy. Back.
Absolutely.
Monday. Back of.
Wow.
If you.
Wow. This store Britain. This is, see, like, guys, I'm gonna let y'all know, like, as soon as y'all can line this up, one country, it's gonna be like dominoes. As soon as one party wins, the entire Europe. Because then they're gonna see, and the problem, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. A lot of people are afraid to have these values. Like, look at how many people have to go out and make statements in America about how much they don't like ICE. The moment that and they're not doing that because they dislike ICE. They're doing that because it's socially acceptable. Change what's socially acceptable, and you change the entire culture. That's all you have to do. So the moment that you have a country that allows this, and the people who think this don't get canceled, and they don't lose their jobs, and they don't get ostracized, it will fly overnight. Because I think that a lot of people are downplaying the value of perception of consensus and like how much that brings. If you have a perception of consensus, that is so powerful.
Store Britain. London. System.
Bam. There you go. That's right, generate. That's right. Quit funding shitholes and cards that come from some other fucking place. Give them money to people that live there. Absolutely. Defunding inbred migrants. Imagine that.
Standing here, stay on the front. I know exactly. Unproductive. Planning restriction. Tax. Endless. State. End. Tax. Endless. State. Enemy.
This is really something special. I hope you're having a good day. I am now. I am now. Like, I'm having a good day. This is insane.
Store Britain. Okay. Match on this.
He calls that shit out. Bearing HR culture. It's not enough to do this, by the way. You have to hunt down and penalize all the people that pushed it. So it's not enough just for your idea to win. The people that pushed the other idea have to be systematically punished in the most severe way possible. You can't just let them go, because then they'll do it again. This in Sweden, you get one. If he wins and they're successful, you'll get one in Sweden. And then all those no-go zones, they're just going to send in the military and round everybody up and get rid of them. That's what they can do. Go do it. Duh.
allow that to be. Celebrate.
I'll tell you this, right? If I was in Britain, I'd vote for this guy. I would vote for this guy, absolutely. This is the guy. This is the guy.
And the identity shapes, sponsor, strength, duty, and fairness. In short, a high trust society. That will mean defending our term. That will mean centrist, radical. That banning outlaw Sharia. Our Christian.
Oh my god! He's saying it! Oh, what the fuck? This is amazing! Oh my god!
For Britain, halal, kosher.
Holy shit!
She's Britain.
Wow. And the thing is that, like, I feel like if Saudi Arabia or, like, Iran or Qatar said this, I would say, yeah, base, that's your country. You should do things your way. Why the fuck do they get to do things their way, but we can't do things our way? It's ridiculous.
To make it a better, safer,
Damn, you quick scope, man.
Right?
Bro, they're being so gay though. Like, go after other fucking people. Like, there's a whole nother dude on top of the hill.
our country now.
So like Trump, this guy is just Trump, you know, the pedo. Gonna try to do games with me. Give a fuck about it. The emotional exploitation. Oh, let me get the moral upper hand. I don't give a fuck. If it's up to me, I would do exactly what this guy is saying. I would. And it's about the idea. I don't care whatever your opinion of some guy is. It doesn't matter. The main thing that matters to me is achieving the. That's what matters the most. So, OMP. Oh, God, what a fucking legend. You're more optimistic than most. It's a tall task since many don't like accepting a new political party. I hope I'm proven wrong, though. Well, I mean, of course I can be optimistic. It doesn't mean anything is going to go very well or things going to go great. I mean, sure, it might be awful and it might suck and things might not go well, but at the end of the day, you know, you're going to hope things improve, they get better, and that's obviously what I would hope for. I mean, I don't know what else you really want me to say. I think that's kind of common sense, isn't it? Of course you're going to want to have things get better, right? And so that's my outlook on it. They won't reach the goal if the vote is split by him. Not reaching it anyway. Like, they're not getting it anyway at all. So, the guy's also diving deeper into the Asian grooming gangs. Yeah, it's a huge issue. It's a massive problem. I've never voted before. This guy might be my first base. Yeah, absolutely. Sweden deports people who turn 18 even though they've never been to their country of origin. I don't know what Sweden does. Why would you outlaw the halal or kosher slaughter, though? If people wouldn't, shouldn't you be able to make it for them? Because it's again, they don't want to have that in there. That's the reason why. I mean, I agree that's a pretty extreme measure, but at the same time, they just don't want to have that type of ideology in the country. That's it. Like, it's literally that simple. I mean, like, you can go and try to rationalize it and say that it's animals, whatever. But the real reason is because they don't want to have these people coming in there and putting their ideology in there and changing the way Britain is. Like, that's the real. And I think that's totally fine. Like, I mean, they have every right to do that. I mean, you know, you can't just go over there and say, okay, well, we're going to do things our way and everybody has to put up with it. Well, why? Why should they have to put up with it? It's deeper than that? Not really. I mean, it's really not. So anyway, let's go back. I'll look at it here. And, well done, Rupert. Best of luck to you. And should support mainland Europe. We were with you. Godspeed, sir. Based, patriot, easiest voted. Absolutely, man. England lives. Holy shit. Rupert, the best chance Britain has to save the country. Nigel Farage won't change anything. I encourage anyone supporting Nigel Farage to instead consider supporting and is our leader. We know, so right, yeah, people are massively positive about this. 22 million views. I haven't even seen this before. Benny Halal and Kosher stars out those groups if they can't get acceptable. Why would they stay? Yeah, and you have to keep in mind that like here, right? And I think that the problem is that there is a very obvious and evident stated goal, even though I think people like to talk around it. The stated goal is all of the and the migrants that aren't supposed to be here, that aren't Europeans. That's what the stated. That's the implicit goal. Now, the Overton window hasn't shifted enough to where to outwardly say that, but that is what they're thinking. That's absolutely what they're thinking. So whenever they see a Muslim family that, you know, they have their and the clothes they have and everything coming into Britain, they see this is a foreigner. These are people that like their ideology. We don't want them here. It's literally that simple. But they're not able to say that yet because there aren't enough people out there that are openly saying this. Enough people are openly saying it, then you will have a dramatic change. Sounds xenophobic? It is completely xenophobic. Absolutely it is. And that's the way it is. You don't want to have a bunch of people come into your country that are totally different than you. That's the way things work. It's the same thing as in Saudi Arabia. It's the same thing as in Qatar. They're not necessarily xenophobic in that sense of the word. If you want to use it, you can go ahead and use it. At the end of it, so what? Yeah, I don't care. Like some case, this just automatically means that like this stuff is bad. I don't think so, man. You're so wrong. I'm really not. And you'll see that. What I said, do you remember what I said last year about how there will be political people that rise up in the next 5 or 10 years? And their policy will not be to stop the boats, it will be to sink the boats. Whenever I said that. And I said that there is going to be no longer a policy to stop immigration, it will be to reverse it. Remember when I said that too? And now it's happening, it's been a year later. Europe will have another real Hitler soon. Because if you listen people like this, get a Hitler. This is the thing, right? Is that you have moderate people that are just simply like, okay, let's just get back to the way things work. You can get to this problem, you can solve this problem without getting a Hitler. But if you delegitimize, disenfranchise, and prevent these people from taking power, you'll get the violent, authoritarian, fascist, genocidal alternative. That's what's going to happen. You either go with somebody like this, make it inevitable somebody who is even more extreme. Because in my opinion, I think that the next time that what is necessary will be incredibly painful. Yep, definitely. The next time that a big person like that takes power, I think that it will put every other massacre in the entire history to shame. Because think about how good technology is, how much better our weapons are. It's not even going to be close. And oh, here we go. This is a good one. Left Brain UK. A new poll has shown the fascist organization Restore Britain, created by Reform UK MP Rupert Lowe, and 9% of the vote if it stood in the next general election. Restore Britain is currently just a political pressure group positioned to the right of reform. It appears to have a vision to stand in elections, as these polls were commissioned by themselves. I think it's probably a lot more than that. Left Brain? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, this is after one day, or like a week, something like that. Restore Britain advocates for mass deportations, abolition of post-government control over universities, and tax cuts for the wealthy. Oh, okay, so it's more of the same usual stuff that they always say. That's not what he said at all. That's not what he was talking about in any capacity. I read their website, vague posting and promises and a lot of dog whistles.
Pretty states, that's not gonna work anymore. I think you can do it. It's already wrong. Like, rascal, you're a rapper there. Nah, that's all you. That MySpace America's #1 sports picks app.
The only reason they're dog whistles is because they can't just say it. Soon they're gonna just start saying it. And then after they start saying it, you know what happens after they just start saying it? That's whenever they start doing it. You're going to have a bad time. School value 10% nationwide means nothing in Britain. It's 10% would be very, very minimal and non-important. But the reason why it's substantial is because this just came out. Like, I think that you're right about that, but I think it's also worth considering and worth looking into the fact that very clearly this just happened. If you want to listen to anything he said in the BMP, Tony Robinson gets behind this, it'll go crazy. They still care about being polite. If this attempt fails, they won't care anymore. That's what I said earlier, is that if you prevent reasonable discourse from happening, make unreasonable discourse inevitable. And I think that what's happening is that this is a reasonable perspective that I think most people can get behind. And if this one doesn't work, next one's going to be a lot more extreme. Split the vote because FTP. I don't know. Is this party older? Yeah. 51 million views alone. That's within 12 hours of launching. Yeah, you got to keep this in mind. This is one day it had 22 million views. And Elon Musk retweeted. That's great to see, obviously. See, I've seen personal timeline more. Take back Britain, make a better time. Oh, God. A GOP that ideologically resembles the restore secured generational victory in this country and fixed issues that we had ourselves talking about for 5 to 10 years. The question is, who's standing in the way?
I don't really care about Britain. Nice pillow and a blanket. That'll do.
Welcome everyone to Berkeley in California Memorial. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Quick completion on the out route. Good call, good execution as they move the chains and they have a first down at the 38. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Just a short pass to the tight end. Just gashing this defense, a big gainer to the 40-yard line. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Trying to get to it. And here's a
Oh, you fumbled.
The D scoops it up and everybody reverses field. Nothing but green grass down the middle.
Damn, bro.
A first down for the offense. He wants to start this drive with a pass. He's going to take off. At the 40, there he goes. They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run, too, and he's got a first down.
I mean, these quarterbacks nowadays can run so fast. Think about who you've got chasing him. Defensive linemen, those big old defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. They can't catch him because they're faster than them nowadays. So much speed, so much electricity now with these guys.
Just inside the 40-yard line, it's 1st and 10 from the 39. He'll pull it down and run. Runs through a tackle. He picks up
And he broke that tackle too. Put that dude in a blender.
You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. The give to the back. Just a 1-yard gain leaves them with 3rd and 9.
Now that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations.
That was that lurking linebacker.
This quarterback was having success throwing on the opening drive of the game, in large part because it's a lot harder to throw on 3rd down when the defense is expecting it, like you saw right there. They were ready, had a really good coverage call, and they get the INT.
You want to marry? Now, I said, Harry, absolutely. Honest.
Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. Well, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions, but I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive that made me successful.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
He'll try to do it himself. Oh, ball's out. Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it.
No way he fumbled. No way he fumbled. Are you serious? They try to get away with that? Fuck no. They try to get away with that? Fuck no.
This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned.
Man, what the fuck?
Golden Bears have it with a 1st and 10. He's gonna pass. Caught in the backfield, it's Thomas. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. The give to the back. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And this guy is elite. There's a reason why he starts in this offense. You just saw the speed and the open field running ability on that last play. And this is a guy that is going to be...
He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Cal. Lining up to add another. Splits the uprights. So that scoring drive took only...
You cut, build vast empires extending out across the globe. But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus,
headed back onto the
it's
field.
contracting.
What a good mix of
Europe was
plays,
the room.
keeping that defense off balance last.
Behind the Iron Curtain and the rest.
Everybody
Looked like it would soon follow.
And the offense
The
just
great
got
Western
it.
empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by
And you know the
godless
standard
communist
is
revolutions,
indisputable
by
video evidence,
anti-colonial
and the
uprisings
officials will change
that
the
would
call.
transform the world. Drake, the red hammer and
Goes to the
sickle
option.
across vast swaths of the map.
He'll toss it.
Bro, fucking block.
He's sounding like right now.
I mean, the
Sounded
number
a
of
lot like
tackles
a
he
president.
broke at some point, somebody's got to get blocked
Yes.
to help the guy out a little bit.
He sounded
Man,
a
the
lot
defense
like
was
the
like a bunch
president.
of zombies on that last play. They just
This is
would
big.
not stop chasing that ball.
Against that backdrop, that's now
Scrambling away.
came to believe that the West's age of dominance
It's
had come to
complete
an
to
end,
the left.
and that our future
And there was
destined to be a
lots of
faint,
space as he
feeble
gets it to
echo
the
of our
39-yard
past.
line. And the Golden
Together,
Bears head it quickly to the
our
line.
predecessors.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying
Decline was
this
a
guy
choice.
is and how special he is
And it was a
after he
choice they
makes the
refused.
catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a
This is
lot
what we
of
did
ways to
together
get him
once.
touches in this game.
And this is what President Trump of the United States wants to do again.
No fear from this
Together.
freshman quarterback as he picks up the first down
And
himself.
this is why we do not
The
want our
Golden
allies
Bears
to be
are
weak.
flying down the field.
Because that makes
Well,
us
he does
weak.
a really nice job buying
We
time.
want
And I
allies
love
who
the
can defend
awareness there.
themselves so
Understanding
that
no
no
one's open
adversary
downfield.
ever be
Knowing
tempted
where
to
the
test
sticks
our
are, he's
collective
able to
strength.
use his athleticism to get
This
that
is why we do
done.
not want our allies
The
to be
clock has
shackled by
reached the
guilt,
2-minute
shame.
mark, and they have a
We
chance
want
to
allies
at least cut into this lead
who
before the
are
break.
proud of their culture and of
He's
their
back to
heritage.
throw on second
Understand
down.
that we are heirs to the same
Pocket
great
starts to
and noble
He
conviction.
is going
And
nowhere.
together with us
Stop at the line
are
of scrimmage.
and
Really
able
need to pick
to
up this
defend them.
conversion and avoid
And this is
having to
why
settle
we do
for
not
the
want
field
allies
goal.
to rationalize the status
The
quo
sweet feet buy
rather
a
than
little
reckon with
time.
what is necessary.
He's
Oh
got
my
his
God.
For
man.
we in America
Timeout called here
have
by
no
the
interest
defense. It's the first one
in
they've
being
used
polite
this
and
half.
orderly
And they
caretakers.
decide to try
The
out the
West
kicker.
managed to
It is good. And for a quick
The power level? Yes, bro. Like, look at this. Can you comment on the power level of this tie?
on first down, here comes this offense.
Pick the fucking up, dude. This is insane. I love this.
They'll leave it with
Oh
him.
my god.
These little gains can
Like, bro.
start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. He's looking to throw. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. Trying to make magic with his feet. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
What was that?
He's going to run it. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42. Here comes the hurry up.
Yeah, real quick, so boy.
This guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. A big play for the defense with the first down
College
sack.
football.
Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on second down. They're working that left side. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Makes a connection. He'll come through on third down as he's got enough in the
For the defense.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown. That was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm. What better way than converting on third down? Awesome job by the quarterback getting those progression.
And the Golden Bears are threatening in the red zone.
Oh my gosh. Right tackle got completely destroyed.
Down from the 24 as this defense tries to force him into a field goal try. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield.
We talk a lot about this at quarterback, right? Hard focus downfield, soft focus around him. He wanted to throw that downfield. He just felt the pressure. He knew he had to get out of danger. He was able to do that, use his speed, go get north up the field for a first down. Well done.
They get him down, but not before he picks up 6 to
all
the
the
7-yard
time.
line. Going
This
to
is
work on
amazing.
second down in the red
Yeah,
zone.
this
Still
is
some
good.
ground to cover to pick up
Marcus
that
Rubius.
first down.
Yes.
They get him
We
on
do
the
not
ground
seek
at
to
the
separate,
3-yard line, but this
to
defense
revitalize
is
an old
taking some
friendship
punches.
and renew
Not
the
a
greatest
lot of ground to
civilization
cover
in
and
human
not much
history.
to defend. A
What
big
we
third
want is a
down in the red
reinvigorated
zone.
alliance that recognizes that what has ailed our society is not just a set of bad policy, but a malaise of hope.
First down here for the offense.
Fucking exact. This is so good. Oh my god.
They're going to open this drive with a
Alliance
pass.
is what the alliance that we want is one that is not paralyzed into action by fear. Fear of climate change, fear of war, fear of technology. Instead, we want an alliance that boldly embraces the future. And the only fear we have
Dialing up a second
is the
down
fear,
pass
the
play.
shame of not leaving our nations prouder, stronger,
Good
mightier,
fucking play.
an alliance ready to defend our
That's
people,
the end of the period.
to
and
safeguard our
Cowboys
interests,
on
and to
top.
preserve.
They're sitting in a strong
Guys,
position here with the lead. Let's take a look
I
at
have
our game
uninstalled.
summary. You might as well start here in the fourth quarter.
The dough.
They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. To the ground to try to pick
Oh
up
my
first.
gosh, 24 is eating that dude alive.
The middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for
I'll
a loss.
probably
That was
just do.
impressive.
This is a lot. Yeah, it's just limited. There's limited equipment. Oh.
They really have no choice here. This is a no-brainer. You go for it here on this fourth down.
Yeah, just for the.
Receiver on the move gets the touch pass.
Hey.
Way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down.
You think about it, those guys on the move, man, he's on his fly so fast, and I gotta adjust my angle as a DB and make sure I keep outside contained, and it's a really easy play to run to get positive yards, especially in a situation like that where you're looking for the first down. You run that play, you get it. Nice, easy breezy.
He makes the stop at the 48. That'll be enough for a first down and a pickup of 10.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
The Golden Bears are on the move. He's looking to throw it. Getting some heat. He'll pull it down. These two conferences largely share the same geographic footprint, and the ACC loves it when they can take down a team from the SEC.
And we see these two conferences play each other oftentimes early in the season, late in the season. David, think about Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Florida State. These players have a lot of familiarity with one another.
And this already matters so much to these kids because they grew up in the same area a lot of times, like Reese was talking about with the footprint. But how about in the past, too?
Big boy almost got him.
League champion gets left out of the playoff for an SEC team. A little more fuel for the fire.
Ball just inside the 40 at the 39. It's third and short. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line.
And this offense continues to have success and just put a long drive together. And on this defense, I'm getting desperate now. It's desperation. I got to make a play. I got to force something to happen. I got to change something up, and I got to get this football back to my offense.
No mystery on that play. With the lead, we are going to run the ball. You know it's coming, and we are running right at you, right into the teeth of the defense, and they're still able to get a nice game.
They'll run it. They want to take their time here. He just never got started going forward. A huge loss of 8 on the play. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They'll snap it for the 10th time on this drive, but they need a chunk on third and long. Coming after it. And he
52, you're just fucking standing there.
huge play this late in the game. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And now on fourth down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock.
That's 4th and 10.
And the Golden Bears will punt it away on fourth down. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. And they'll mark this one at the 15.
I don't know what happened, but we got the ball.
And as they come to the line, they have the lead, and they have the clock on their side. First and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in. First down here for the offense. From the gun, the ground game. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. And the defense snows him under after a very short game.
And that's exactly what I want from my offense. Like, listen, they're out of timeouts. I want this clock to tick. Now, we have seen some college coaches across college football continue to run the football and also give up the football and give a gift to the other team. This one's over if I just take a knee.
He couldn't get close to the marker, got 3 yards, but it'll be 4th and 3.
Number 17 on the field.
Absolute shank. Missed it. Lead is
Absolute shame.
to make it bigger. The old coaching cliche, go 1-0 every week, and for the first week, they get it done.
Great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season, but 1-0, that's where you want it to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you've just seen. First game of the year, there was tremendous effort on the field. Guys flying around, flying to the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game. They definitely made a few mistakes, but that's what practice is for. But if you're the coaching staff, I think you're very, very positive right now moving forward.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire...
A good week 1 dub.
Reporting to me. Now with Optimum Internet, 1 gig fiber internet for only
We
$6
moved up a rank.
plus Netflix.
How do I do? Played Aliens. What are your other ones like?
Well, Aliens is the most fun one.
Yeah.
This is the one that I hate the most.
Yeah.
Because this one scares the shit out of me. It's crazy. So this is the conspiracy that drives me the most crazy. Because I don't like it.
Do you spend a lot of time reading them?
Yeah. I try not to. I try to have experts come on. I try to you can't change it.
Yeah.
And it'll figure it.
All right, so it looks like the recent Epstein file release is really starting to break Joe Rogan. This man has been going through it. Same thing with Alex Jones. He had a meltdown the other day and had to hold himself back from crying. But his fans, on the other hand, are like, Alex is vindicated. We knew it. He's right again. You know, because him and Rogan have been talking about the Epstein theories and pushing for the release for years. So now that we're starting to see it come out and how bad it is and all the high-profile people who... You'd think somebody like Alex Jones taking a victory lap like his fans are doing. But instead, him and Rogan are freaking out over it because I think it's starting to set in for the both of them that a lot of the people they associate with are complicit or were at least involved with Epstein or the cover-up. Also, it's almost impossible to defend the way Trump's administration has handled this after they were caught lying about and trying to protect co-conspirators. Even Rogan finally snapped and is like, yeah, this looks fucking terrible for Trump. Because Jamie pulled up one of the emails where Epstein said to someone, I love that torture video, and that name was redacted. Then Thomas Massey got to see the unredacted version the other day and named the person. There's this businessman in the UAE, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem. He sent Epstein a torture video, and Trump's administration, I guess, felt like he needed to be protected, like he's a victim here.
So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Okay, I love
Here comes
torture
the
video.
offense on first down.
I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May.
He wastes no
Fuck.
time and comes
Why is
out
his name
throwing.
redacted?
Grabbed
Why
in
would
the
your
middle,
name
it's
be
Thomas.
redacted if you
Knocked
are a
down at
victim?
the
Like, this is what's
29-yard line.
crazy about
Picked up
this.
15
Like, how come you
yards on the
redact
play,
some
and he's got
people,
a first
don't
down.
redact others?
He wants to throw.
What is this? This is
Looking
not
to
good.
scramble.
None of this is good for the
Now
Heroes
No,
right now.
wrong
It looks
person.
fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real, this is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he
Skips away from pressure.
charitable? This is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names, these people aren't victims. You're not protecting the victim. So what do you do? And how come all this shit is not?
The offense lining up
Like,
for a
this is
first
all
down
the
play.
yeah, like get rid of all of it.
Looking to
Just
move it
expel it
through
all.
the air.
It's crazy. See, this is the
Moving
conspiracy
out of the
that drives me the most. It's crazy. It's like, I don't like it. The fear of these, like, literally demonic human beings that are running. Don't give a fuck about human lives and enjoy watching people being tortured, enjoy watching people killed, participate in ritual sacrifice of people, and they do it in order to show that you're part of a team. We know that that has always historically been a real thing, and it's been something that you look at in history and go, God, it's so sick, it's so twisted, it's so disgusting, and everybody wants to think, thank God that's not happening now. Then when you realize, like, might have been happening.
And another co-conspirator that was named recently is Les Wexner, the former CEO of Victoria's Secret, who's a billionaire that gave Epstein his New York City mansion and power of attorney over his finances. So people knew he was involved. It's not a big surprise, but now we have more proof. Also, Trump's administration was trying to protect him too. His name was redacted. So Joe was talking about that and brought up Whitney Webb, probably the most well-versed the Epstein stuff. She's done a ton of research and written books about it, and she pointed out Wexner's role in Epstein's operation in 2020, and that's why Joe brings her up. He also says you'd have her on his podcast, which is kind of surprising because she's also very critical of Joe's tech friends and their involvement with Epstein. So I'm surprised Rogan's handlers would allow her to come on. But also at this point, I don't know if she'd even want to go on there because so close with the Epstein class, she might think it would hurt her credibility.
By the way, Whitney Webb posted on her Twitter about Les Wexner being a trafficker, a child sex trafficker, in 2020. That crazy chick is right about everything. Finder Leslie Wexner financed the mass rape and trafficking of thousands of American children decade, and right now he is sitting in a 26K square foot mansion in Ohio, thinking that he is. She tweeted this in April 28th of 2020. She's like the most prolific of all the conspiracy theorists, the most well-read, the most recalled, the most quoted. I don't know how she's so good at it, trying to get her on. I don't know how she's so good and what her background is, how she finds all this information, but she's always way ahead of stuff. That's crazy. Way ahead.
Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
These files, just what's come out so far, and the fact that they redacted men, these like powerful billionaire guys, names were written.
And another thing that he was way ahead of is Elon Musk's connection to Epstein. But obviously Rogan does not want to hear about that. That's his buddy. But Whitney called this out almost 3 years ago, maybe even longer. She talked about it on PBD's podcast about 3 years ago. And she said Elon is a fake persona that he portrays to the public. And he isn't truthful about his ties to Epstein, which she was 100% right about. You know, Elon lied about this so much, it's crazy. Like, he originally claimed he was photobombed by Ghislaine Maxwell in that picture with her. He said he didn't think Epstein toured SpaceX. He said he denied every invitation to the island and barely did. But that was all bullshit. He communicated with him quite a bit. He tried to get to the island, but Epstein canceled on him. Also, he gave Epstein a tour of SpaceX, and his brother was set up with girl by Epstein. And when he was talking about this stuff 3 years ago, she nailed it here. But of course, I doubt Rogan let her talk about all this on his podcast.
I see Elon Musk as a person who has like a very specific persona he wants to project to the public, and then right? And I don't think they're necessarily always the same person. For example, Elon Musk, a lot of people forget, he's a big military contractor. And also, Space Force, that's also an intelligence agency, so he's technically an intelligence contractor. A lot of his companies would not have been successful without significant subsidies from the government. So I feel like in order to get those deals, there's certain you have to abide by to an extent. So maybe he wants to project, this persona of like, I'm one of the bros, I'm one of the guys, I believe free speech and all of this. And certainly when he bought Twitter, that's what he said, but then it became, oh yeah, free speech, but not free speech. And, I personally, just from my own experience with Epstein research, I have found Musk not to be upfront about some of those connections there. So, for example, he'll be like, a lot of people bring up a picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell from, he'll say he was photobombed and all of this. Reporters seem to have forgotten that Elon Musk, his brother, was on the board of Tesla and SpaceX, was introduced to a member of Epstein's entourage who had dated Epstein in an apartment where all these traffic girls lived. A girl from there starts dating Elon Musk. Somehow Epstein was allegedly granted access to SpaceX facilities. Forbes is allegedly advising Tesla, according to the New York Times reporter James Stewart. This is during a time when Musk is saying he's trying to secure a capital to take Tesla private, I believe. And this was allegedly involving one of the Saudi wealth funds of the Saudi government. And at that time, Epstein was a very close advisor to Mohammed bin Salman, who had recently come to power.
Yeah, and also the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia was really close with Epstein. So I'm sure Bill Burr, Andrew Schultz, and all the comedians that took money from him will have a lot to say about that. I mean, they'll all talk about how evil all the billionaires are in the files, and then take money from a trillionaire that was really good friends with Epstein. So, speaking of that, Schultz has been railing against Elon for being in the files. Same thing with Brendan Schaub. He surprised a lot of people. He's actually had a good take on the files, but his co-host, Brian Callen, has had maybe the worst, and he's been getting a lot of backlash for it. Like, even Schaub has been giving him a ton of shit for it. So it's good to see some of Rogan's friends aren't afraid to talk about how bad this is, and the fact that Elon Musk was trying to get to Epstein's island. Because obviously so far, Rogan has been too scared to talk about it. I don't think he even wants to look at those messages. He's probably trying to convince himself it's not real and they're AI or something. I'm sure that's what Elon will try to tell him.
Yeah, he said, he basically said, if you, going to go to the park, the wild exact word.
Line gets set, first down. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers.
I think he was like, hey, let's go.
He'll start this drive firing.
There are a lot of people in emails that were
he's going to try to hit him deep.
To Russian girls. That's a separate thing.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, ball's incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense.
Hey man, we actually canceled the parties. We sent that in on Christmas Day. This guy got like 11,000 kids on Christmas Day. He's working doing crazy party.
He is in like a unique situation. Yeah, he didn't. Desperately tried to the wildest part. Like if Epstein's like, we just kind of like well, what? Wildest fun. And that means
a first down for the offense.
Shit happens at the end.
Absolutely.
Because why even suggest that?
They're going to throw it to start the drive.
drives me the. It's crazy. I don't like it.
Like if you're going
all kinds of time before he fires right.
Yeah.
And they finally get him down, but not before.
He specifically asked me, this is the one that I hate the most. Because this one scares the shit out of me.
I want the craziest part.
Now, the wildest one.
Outstanding game.
Epstein's like, oh yeah, man. He's trying to talk him up.
First down now tells me.
Is Elon the corniest
in the secondary?
So all the positive PR Rogan's been doing for Elon over the years is now being all undone. Like Rogan's always said, Elon's the coolest and his favorite billionaire, which is just cringy as hell. But now there's always going to be an elephant in the room whenever Joe talks about him. When he has him on, that's going to be really interesting. Wonder if Rogan has the balls to bring this up to him. I doubt it, but let me know what you guys think. And if you want to stay up to date with everything, make sure you check out the Patreon. I just posted a new video about how MAGA's calling for Trump to sue Tim Dillon. And I also covered Alex Jones' crash out, which I was talking about at the beginning of this video. That was great. Make sure you check it out. It's definitely worth it. They'll be linking.
I get asked all the time, what hits Funko Pop? Someone's gonna have down.
They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving.
Dude, that released a little while ago.
At the 35,
Notice
he's
has a
loose.
couple stickers
Got
on.
a lot of
Got
running room.
this here to tell you.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their total.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
To finally meet you. Wow, I'm so excited. This interview. I don't know. It's a little echo like self. I just want. I've been watching so many pictures. I don't know if you've seen. I sent you some of the 10. I have a full. It's like I'm back in school. I thought that I really appreciate the work. First off, I'm not trying to. Yeah. You win right now. I'm here with. So yeah, so how much time do you have today? This conversation.
Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear
Riding
offense on its way
Bentley.
to the field.
With a bad
Boy,
bitch,
they
my
have
city.
delighted these home fans here by
Inside with
winning this
me.
game in a hammerlock,
If you
David.
wanna
This
run.
crowd.
All
You
kinds of
up
running
like
room.
50. Shooter. He test me.
He's at the 10.
You watch out
And they're gonna
60.
put another one into
How
the
to
end
find
zone.
me.
They just keep
Really good. Yeah,
just
be
avoid
dying.
an utter
You
dominance
can
on this
rest
one.
with
Outplayed
me.
their opponent and
Pussy
took
boy,
care of
stop
business.
trying.
Total
No
domination, all
15.
three phases
Got
of
my
the
first
offense,
toolie.
defense, and special teams. This team came ready
Every
to
day's
play,
a
and man,
movie.
it was pedal to the metal right
Getting
from the
through.
opening.
Everyone look, cause I'm not good. Who is you?
Oh, this play
Like
can
summer
decide
neck,
just
I feel so
right
cool.
man, big face, ball game over.
That's going to do it for us here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another
Benz,
presentation
pick your
of
front
Hoops
door.
Sports College
Running
Football.
Bentley, with a bad bitch, my city. That's how with me. That you wanna have me. You up like 50. Shooter, he touched me. New watch got 60. It ain't hard to find me. Hey, hey, what you do right here? I'm in a lamb today, but yesterday I pulled up in a Rari. I put my band today, but yet we really just started. Holy fuck, bro. I'm bored as shit. I just want some fucking money just to do whatever the fuck I want. No Epstein shit. Fuck around. Yeah, like 50 shooter, retest me. You watch that 60. Bust down 8. Watch that 60 shooter, retest me. It ain't hard to find me. Up of a man today, but yesterday we really just starting. I'ma pop one of these bad boys. Little mango.
Welcome to Ryan Field on the campus of
Little mango flavor.
home to the Wildcats, where the purple-clad fans are eager to get this one started. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit.
Hour and a half. No one tried it.
California Golden Bears. Taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Northwestern Wildcats.
What is down on me?
Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I 14 by 36 tiny house by myself in 30 days.
We scored on the kickoff. Nice.
Alright, so let's just jump right into this. I know you guys just want to know the breakdown, and I got all. So let's jump.
Is headed back onto the field. That last drive
late,
really
so I ended up just leveling that area the best I could. I knew. So I ended up buying 12 8x8 by 16 cinder blocks. Our land that we have here is at a slope, so I knew I was going to stack it up on that side, this side, and I was
What
only
we just did. Fuck, I jinxed it.
to really try to figure out how we were going to do the foundation.
I swear if Coach puts in the backup, I'm turns
would
out.
be the easiest way to do it. So just to be very transparent,
You can't just keep stealing the starters touchdowns, bro.
sign up for Pro and you'll save a lot of money. You don't have to use your credit card, you just put in your phone number and you save a ton of money. If you spend like $2,000,
first down here for the offense.
So
Bro, I keep refreshing YouTube and it's just giving me the same videos over and over. Like, promote my video, motherfucker.
Down to the 25.
At 1,800 players. So high guard developers, there was a high guard developer that had to write out. They wrote out like some kind of struggle post that they had. And I'm trying to see if I can find it. Like, where's the high guard developer post? Yeah, here it is right here. Reflecting on shipping my first game high guard. So this was the guy, you might forget about him. I don't. And so this is the guy right here. He posted and he was complaining that people are being mean to him, being a high guard developer. And now he's posting something reflecting on shipping my first game. And so everyone I knew had any connections to the team or project had the same sentiments. That's the problem right there. You already see what I think is so funny about this is that these people, like, how can you be a professional in a field without having any understanding of anything? Like, how, you really think that all of your friends and family are going to tell you that your game's bad? No, they're going to look on the bright side. They're going to try to see the good things, and they're going to try to put a positive spin on it to make you happy. I mean, you really should have expected this. Anybody expected it, right? It's toxic positivity. It's also that these people don't have a vested interest in this one way or another. With the detail about it, yeah, sure. Friends hyping their own game. There's no way this will flop. Is that what they told me? No way. This is the internal feedback, even from biased sources. The thing is, it's not biased, right? It's just not. I mean, you think that it's unbiased because you don't understand But like, I mean, for example, like if you really wanted to know what gamers think, and also like the idea of it being unbiased is stupid. So I'm just thinking out, and just thinking. The idea of something to be unbiased is, I think, a very misguided idea, because it's not about being unbiased. It's about sharing the values of your audience. So if your audience is biased and you're biased, then you win. If you're biased and your audience is biased, then you lose. So whenever you could say, like, you know, because this is a person that, you know, they might say that I have a bias or I have an agenda. What happens if my agenda is a prevailing viewpoint? Then it means that you better follow my fucking agenda. And if you don't, it's going to fail. And it's not about being my agenda. It's about it being an agenda that resonates with a lot of people and they agree with it. And if you don't have the ability to do that, you're going to put yourself into a lot of problems, right? And so that's really what I would say more than anything else. And yeah, you try to make a game that cooks off instead of making a good game. You need testers biased to gamers. Should have released a play test and see what people said. But then after the trailer came out, it was all downhill from there. Content creators love to. Oh, this is about me. Content creators love to point out the bias in folks to give positive feedback after being to an event. Ignore the fact that when their negative leaning content gets the engagement of the positive, they've got just as much incentive to lean to a negative, disingenuous direction, consciously or not. So this is another. See, this person is actually a retard. And like, after reading this, I've never read this before. Like, after this post that they're making, I actually think that you deserve to go out. Fundamentally, understand people. You don't understand the market. You don't understand your job. You don't understand what consumers want, and you just
Bro,
don't
they haven't gotten the
understand
first
content
round.
creation, right? So content creators, I'm going to read this. Content creators love pointing out the bias in folks to get positive and ignore the fact that they're negatively on it. So this is a very common sentiment that people like this have. It's because they don't understand content creation. Content creation is not about making negative or positive content. It's about making content that reaffirms people's biases. So what I mean by that is that whenever you have content that, for example, you know, everybody loves Baldur's Gate 3. You want to know how to get a lot of views? Talk about how Baldur's Gate 3 is good. Everybody loves Black Myth.
Damn, bro. Tight end was just to run around.
Everybody hates Diablo 4. You want to talk about getting a lot of views? Talk about D4 bad. It's such an easy understanding thing, but a lot of these people try to oversimplify it because they don't understand the way that people think, right? Because if they did, they wouldn't be out on their ass and getting fired. So it makes sense that they don't understand it. Best thing is, these guys didn't do any ESG funding. They simply actually believed in the fake industry standard. Wait a minute. So these people got no ESG funding. There was no DEI, investment. They made a piece of shit for the game.
And as a defense,
so I don't even know what to say. The hate started immediately. Additioning to dogpiling on the trailer, I personally came under fire for my naivete on TV.
I don't even know what game they're talking about, guys.
is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's second and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
Down to the 26-yard line where the tackle is made. Pick up a 5 and a first down.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down. Understand the situation. Understand I got to get north and south. Get a first down. Get a new set of downs.
The Golden Bears will have it first and 10.
A trans man in Canada who stabbed his...
Power football with the run.
Good morning. Your favorite bubble you love to hate.
To the end zone. Touchdown.
I just wanted to check in, let people know that I am here. I have...
Atwood was arrested but then released until the next court date. An 8-year-old child whose esophagus was severed in the attack faces several months on a feeding tube. Atwood's social media platforms, including Discord and Facebook, have had posts mentioning the attack since their arrest. I stabbed her shoulder, yes, but I held it shut until EMS arrived. Yes, I stabbed her, but I didn't slash her like that at all. I was trying to remain optimistic given my situation, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been remorseful. It sucks and I apologize. I'll just take my space and do my therapy.
Care of my need, and I am just until I actually go for my sentencing. And I did kind of realize that you have a highly opportunity here, whereas I'm someone who did something heinous, and I'm on social media, whereas pretty much all the other people get locked in a box and blocked out from society, and they don't get to talk to them. So,
and if it was up to me, it'd be anybody.
David, right now they
Just
know
be
they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game,
does it
but
put me at
there's
risk?
nothing at this point
I'm
it seems they
already
can
at
do.
risk.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I gotta sell out, man. I gotta bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I gotta find a way to get this ball back to my offense.
Just the gay joker.
Just a second, the official's going to take a second look at this one.
Not for anyone else.
And the play will
How do you
stand
stab
after
an
the replay
8-year-old
booth just
and
does
then
a
get
little
released
double
until
check
your
to
next
make
quarter?
sure. Moving into scoring territory at the 36 on first down.
Error and bad.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up,
shouldn't
getting
have
them on
ever
the
done it.
ground.
I
Take away that
never
run game. Make them one-dimensional coming in
if I
passing
could,
situations. Really good job
You
by
can
the
never trust people like this because the
offense has a
people that
second
do
down
this
play.
do not have agency over their own mind. They might believe what they're saying, but their brain doesn't have the guardrails in order to operate inside of the realm of making what they're saying what they're doing. Like when he said about stabbing his daughter, he also stabbed his son. Of course.
And if I could, take it, I did.
He's got enough for the first down.
That's not going to happen. And
eighth play of the drive coming up.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What should we do with opportunity? Alex Michael out.
So this is what needs to happen. The moment that somebody does something like this, I think that they forfeit all humanity. The idea that you play patty cake and try to explain anything like this, this person should be, again, thanking God that we don't kill them and harvest their organs. I just think we should put them in jail and put them on mandatory labor for the rest of their life.
What the fuck was that throw?
Free under Canada's catch and release system.
That's why you're on the bench now, motherfucker. You didn't progress at all during the offseason. That's exactly why a freshman starting.
Coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this.
Do this in your 20s and 30s, or you'll regret it in your 60s. If you're in your 20s, 30s, listen close. I've talked to hundreds of men in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Some worth millions, some worth nothing. Almost all of them have the exact same regrets. And every single one of those regrets could have been avoided. So here's what you must do now to avoid becoming. Your 20s and 30s are the decades of your life. And not for the reason you think. Not because of money, not because of your career, but because everything compounds. I've wasted years chasing the wrong thing. Dude, let me help you skip all of it. Regret number one, not working enough on yourself early enough. So most people reach 60 still emotionally the same as they were at 18, just with more scars. Most adults never heal their childhood. Men of therapy, reflection, self-awareness, presence, and their ego just becomes a prison. Emotional immaturity destroys marriages, friendships, and careers. I didn't start my inner work until I was in college, and thank God I did that, because what happened to me was I actually got a DUI. And that, for a lot of people, can be a life achievement.
You're an interesting story, man, because not just because your personality, it's your comeback from mental illness, and you're very, very open about it. You know, I think that's that's a very unique thing. Where I remember when you
This offense is so deep in the
Klitschko
hole, it looks
won
like
the
the end
title,
zone's at the
and
end
then
of the earth.
kind of went off the rails.
They'll crank up this
I
drive
thought
with
we
the
were just
pass.
partying.
He's
You know,
gonna
when
take
I
off.
heard about it, I thought, wow, I made a shitload of money, became the heavyweight champion, all the pressure and the press and all the craziness. But it was more.
It was more. It started off like I'd suffered with mental health problems my whole life, but I didn't know what it was because I never had no education on the matter. And it wasn't until after the Klitschko fight, my very massive heart, I had to have a even worse low, lowest low that anything could ever have. I woke up and I think, why did I wake up this morning? This is coming from a man who had everything: money, fame, glory, titles, family, kids, everything. But I felt as if I had nothing. I felt there was an empty gate full, which just filled gloom and doom, and it just was one bad thing happened to me after another.
Fuck.
The ex-grip me at that title because I couldn't defend against Glasgow, who was a nobody, because I had much for Vladimir. But the IBF wasn't expecting me to beat Vladimir, so they took that clause in there anyway, thinking Vladimir's going on here to defend against Glasgow. But because I won, they stripped me of the belt. It's none of my reason.
7 days of the fight?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Require you to fight within 7 days.
No, they didn't, but they required me to go into negotiations.
And you, so just not negotiations to sign this trip within 7 days?
Yeah, but they knew I couldn't go into negotiations because they were in match clause. So I was stuck in That's what happened. That was one bout gone. And then my team, Klitschko's team, were carrying on about where the flight was going to be. It was going to be on a cruise ship in Dubai. It's going to be here, it's going to be there. Time was dragging on. A cruise ship, yeah, there was some Arab billionaire who wanted to make this fight an exclusive fight for him and his buddies. Yeah, come on. Seriously, this fight was headed for a cruise ship.
That fucking oil money, man.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but
To Arab billionaires on a cruise ship.
Let's go.
Do not pay your next
Oh,
car
they're
insurance
trying to
bill.
copyright me.
Repeat, do not pay your bill yet. So
Plenty of time for one more
They strip you of the IBF belt, go on a negotiation with Klitschko for the rematch.
Yeah,
the rematch never happened.
the rematch didn't happen initially because I went over on the ankle in training. I was in Poland training for the rematch. I was on Mediterranean and I went over on my ankle, sprained my ankle quite badly, so we had to postpone the fight. But by the time I was off, like say 3 months, getting his ankle right and all that, I just didn't want to do it anymore, if you know what I mean. Didn't have the desire. The fire wasn't burning no longer to fight. I was suffering depression the whole time, even in training camp. Before I sprained my ankle. I was depressed as depressed can be on a daily basis. I think, why am I feeling like this? I don't have no reason to feel like it. Some people will say, oh well, it's attention seeking or whatever. But unless you've experienced what I'm saying, it's still impossible to understand where it come from. And it just went from bad to worse. I hit drink heavily on a daily basis. I hit the drugs. I was out all night partying with women of the night and not going home. You know, I didn't care about boxing. I didn't care about living. I just wanted to die. I was going to have a good time doing it while I was doing it. I used to drink and take drugs to get away from the depression, because when I was drunk or high, then I wouldn't think about being depressed. I thought about being a boxing champion or I'm feel great. As we know, when the drink wears off, it only leaves you with I don't know, and feeling even more depressed. For someone who suffers with mental health, the worst thing you can do to escape it is take drugs or alcohol.
But yeah, that's the most common approach.
That's the common approach because people
No way, bro.
This is where I want to spread the word on mental health, so when other people are in this position in the future, they know where to go, they know what to do, because there's a blueprint.
Kudos to you. So few people have the courage to talk about their struggles when because it seems like a weakness.
Yeah.
You know, it's very powerful that you're willing to do that and just be open and honest about it. There's a few people out there that are doing that now. Our friend Mark Mallow has gone through some serious issues. about it, talks about it quite a bit. Now, when you were training for the first Klitschko fight, did you have it then?
Not really, no. But I was focused on what I wanted to do. That was beat Vladimir Klitschko. I believe when you've got a goal in mind from being a child all your life, and you do that, and it was like, I was lost. It was almost like I didn't have anything more to do anymore. Although I could have carried on and defended the belts or whatever, I wasn't really interested in doing that. Man, I'd always wanted to do. I was an amateur boxer. I watched Vladimir Klitschko on TV as a world heavyweight champion. I always aimed, he was my target. When I finally beat him, it was like the Everest. I think it was proof. The fire was dead. There was no fire. I was forcing myself to fight. I always said, I didn't want to be one of those people who just fought for money. There's plenty of people with money in the world. Plenty of them. And the reasons for me fighting is not for money or for belts or glory. I fight because I don't know anything else. I've always been a fighter. From being born to being 30 years old now. It's all I love to do. I don't have any other passion. I've looked. The Lord knows I've looked. And if I had anything else I was good at or I could do, I'd be doing it. I tried retirement. I was 27. I retired in the second man.
Square is open.
But it wasn't enough. I was like, I'm lost about this fight game. I tried golfing, I tried pigeon shooting, I tried 4x4 ring, I tried going to strip clubs, bars, restaurants, everything. And it's just like, I had this emptiness inside where I just wanted to fight.
In comparison to what accomplished everything that's happened,
Nice job by the QB there, putting it
step
out in
into
front of his receiver
Vladimir
to make an
Klitschko
easy catch and then
was widely
advance it.
considered to be one of the greatest heavyweights ever and boxed his face off. That was a beautiful performance.
It was.
Down. Weird. It was weird to watch. It was like there was moments in that fight where it just looked like he didn't know what to do with you.
And we're going to see it again on December the 1st. Like I said to Vladimir, I said the same thing to Deontay Wilder. You fought the Americans, you fought the Mexicans, you fought the Europeans, but you ain't never fought the Gypsy King before. I said it straight to Vladimir. I said, you're looking at a king. I said, have you ever fought a king before? He said, no. I said, well, you fight him on now. I said, you're going to lose to one.
Lost stopped, and I was very impressed with him actually in the Anthony Joshua fight because he came back from getting badly hurt and almost put Joshua away. But the fight with you is different. So you just outboxed him, and he was known as the guy who would box and hold, jab and hold. I mean, he was one of the most great heavyweights of all time. Fantastically successful, but from a spectator point of view, you watch some of his fights like, Jesus Christ, he would jab you, grab, jab you, grab. I mean, that was his thing, right hand grab.
It worked. He had 25 title defenses.
It was very successful, but that shit didn't work.
It didn't. For the first time in his whole career, it was like somebody who was not just bigger than him, but more athletic, who could move more.
Yeah.
Someone who wasn't just looking for one lucky punch. I knew going into the Vladimir fight that everybody, all the rest of the opponents, and 25 men before me, all went in trying to do the same thing, trying to knock him out. He got something of a weird defense where he puts both arms out in front of him. It's almost very awkward to land and match in with big punches. I thought, I'm not going to do that. Instead, you know, I'm boxing. No team said, this is not a good idea. We've got to go to Germany, try and outbox a super champion and try and win up a card. Are you crazy? I said, yes. I said, but if I wasn't crazy, I wouldn't be great. And I went over there and outboxed him. Nobody, apart from my brother or my father, thought I could do it. You know, even people who were close to me, were very unsure of what was going to happen. And me being me, I always had that little smile on my face because I believed it. I believed I could always beat Vladimir Klitschko. I even told Vladimir years before when we were 22, I said, I will beat you. Michael Stewart told him too, God rest his soul. He said Tyson Fury is the heir to the throne. He said when his time is ready, he will beat you. Straight to him. Vladimir hated that. He hated Emmanuel talking about me like that. But he done it either way.
Sure, it was good fire under him.
Downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out
You
positive yardage.
were focused for that fight,
you were prepared, and afterwards, was it just the realization that you had accomplished this incredible set into motion? Was it you didn't know what to do next, or was it just that your focus was now on this unattainable, almost insurmountable obstacle of becoming heavyweight champion of the world? All of a sudden you did it, then depression kicks in.
Yeah, my conditioning trainer, Christian, said to me before the Klitschko fight, he said, "You give up to your win." He said, "I'm going to be depressed for a long time."
And the defense needed that one badly. They're losing in this game. They just gave up a big play, so they finally get the sack. I feel like they're going to need
Even
more
the day
than that.
after
They're
the
going to need
Klitschko
some
fight,
turnovers
Sky
to get
Sports
back in this
interview,
game.
the UK broadcaster put it on. He said, "What's next for Tyson Fury?" I said, "I'll
Great
probably
job
never
there by
box
the
again."
defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw
I said to me, Dad and my brothers before the fight,
the quarterback to throw the football.
before the fight, I said, "Win, lose or draw,
You don't get the negative play,
this is
but you
probably
also
going to
don't
be
give
my
up
last
a big
fight."
one. You're feeling pretty
Because I
good
knew
about
the
where you
fire
are
was
right
going.
now.
I didn't have that hunger anymore. The hunger to be
Bro, fuck.
continue. I said I didn't want it to be about money or financial gain. I wanted to be the best of my time, be the best man. That's what I did. Now tomorrow I did box again.
You going way out there, boy.
A year later, I decided to make a comeback because I was sitting here at 400 pounds, drug addict, alcoholic. By the way, I never took a drug in my life until I got to 27. Smoked weed, not
Playmakers, Reese. I think it's
drug free.
finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the
As usual. That was it. Cocaine and alcohol. It's like crazy drug and alcohol things. But, you know,
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out.
I changed that.
He's trying to keep these third downs
People
manageable.
will think, well, this man's crazy for saying that on a radio show.
Now you've set up
Change the thing.
third long, and now
It's
you set
like
up
what was supposed to happen. Needed to be tested to see what type of character it was. Although I did all those mad things and I went through all that time and I tried to commit suicide and
who knows what they're going to do.
I'll tell you what happened. So the way thing when I didn't want to do I was making everybody's life a misery. Everybody who was close to me was pushing away. Nobody could talk to me, talk any sense into me at all. And
trying to get to him.
Very, very, very low at times. Very low. I start thinking all these crazy thoughts, this, that, and the other. And I was in my car. I bought a brand new Ferrari convertible in the summer of 2016. And I was in it, and I was on the highway. Straight on the highway where I am. At the bottom of about a 5-mile strip. It's a massive bridge that crosses the motorway. I got the car up to 190 miles an hour. I was heading towards that bridge. No one was thinking. I didn't care about hurting my family, me, people and friends, anybody. I didn't care about nothing. I just wanted to die so bad. Give up on life. Just as I was getting towards that bridge at 190 in this Ferrari, in a crush like a coke can, by the way, for the bit. And the voice. Don't do this, Tyson. Think about your kids. Think about your family and your little boys and girls growing up with your father. Everyone saying your dad was a weak man. He left us. He took the easy way out because he couldn't do anything about it. Before I turned into the bridge, I pulled on the motor and I was shaking. And I pulled over and I was all nervous. I didn't know what to do and I was frightened and I was so afraid. And I thought that day, I'll never, ever, ever try or think about taking my own life ever again. I didn't. I went through a Tony psychiatrist, doctor in the UK. My dad went up with me and she said to me, Dad, she said, "Can I have a word alone with you, John?" My dad told me what she said when he came out. She said, "He is not to be trusted alone. He's an imminent death risk. It's the highest level of suicide risk that she ever assisted." And she said, without his faith, he would have been dead a long time ago. She said, "Faith alone is going to hold him, because that's going to break." If that goes, he's done. So that put my dad's life in terror as well, because he was checking up on me all the time. He wanted to be with me 24/7. He was even sleeping in my house with me. I'm with 4 kids. It's in the right state. It's I wanted, I just didn't want to live anymore. I had everything that man could want. There wasn't nothing that I didn't have. Nothing meant anything. I felt worthless. The longer it went on, the more it turned inside, the more I was hurting everybody. Everybody gave up on me. The whole family thought I was definitely going to die and I was going to kill myself. And after that, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I need to get better, I need to do something. But every time I tried to go to the gym, I had another voice saying that. This ain't for us anymore, I'm not going to do this. I didn't want to do it. I'd run 200 yards and pull up. If you get miles of it, I don't want to do this. Boxing is not for me. I hated boxing at one stage. 2016, early 17, I wouldn't have done a boxing fight in this room full of diamonds. Boxing, I wouldn't watch on TV. I wouldn't read about it. Boxing. Whole life, and I didn't want no part of it anymore. I was out drinking. Yeah, well, taking drugs, like I said. Your point was doing
25 to freaking G, bro.
2017 Halloween.
I'm pretty sure we got him in the portal.
Goes to this fancy dress party, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, these are all kids compared to me. I'm 30 and I feel like I'm the oldest guy in there, like 29 or like, what am I doing here? Is this what you want me alive? Thought yourself, this is not me. How many people told me before this? What was going wrong, what I was doing, you need to act your life. You can only change your life if you want to change it. I left, and everyone said, you going home early? Yeah, after 9 o'clock I went home. When I got back home, I didn't say anything to the wife, I went straight upstairs into a dark room. And I took the chief skeleton suit off. I was sat there, got on my knees, and I was praying and begging God to help me. At this point, I never begged or tried to God to help me before. I prayed a lot, all my life. I've never been in this physical state before. I feel tears running down my face. My chest was wet with tears. Because I knew I couldn't do it on my own. It wasn't possible for me. So I tried. Got back in the pub, back drinking. I almost accepted that was going to be my fate, but I'll follow it. I was on my knees in this bedroom. I was praying for about 10 minutes. I got up. Felt the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. For the first time in years, I knew I was going to make a comeback. I said, Paris. She said, what? She thought I was drunk coming home from the pub. I said, Monday morning, I start to regain mission to try and get the heavyweight championship of the world back. She said, yeah. Because before this, every time I'd have a beer, I'd come back and I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world again, because it was the alcohol talking. So I was like the man who called Wolf 1,000 times on this stupid career that I was living on the past, thinking about years before glory days. After this prayer, I got up, I said, right, this is going to be... She didn't believe me 1 second. But even when I speak to her now, she says, that night you told me that, she said, I hear a difference in your voice. Something happened. Next day I phoned up Ben Davison. And I said, I don't want to go back down the old route with the same trainer, same promoter, same anything. I said, everything's got to change. This is going to be a new Tyson Fury. And we called it Return of the Mac Mission. And so I went out that morning, after phoning Ben and arranging everything, I went out for a run in my sweatsuit. I had ambitions of running 2 miles. I got about 5 minutes into the run and stopped. And I walked. And while I was walking, I thought, I can't run, I'm too fat, 400 pounds. I thought, I'm going to walk, I'm going to get out and walk. While I was walking, I was flicking through on my phone on Instagram. And I see this video of Deontay Wilder saying, yeah, Tyson Fury's finally done that, because the week before I'd been at a boxing show in Manchester or something, and the press took a picture of me, and it was like everywhere, this big, fat, out of shape, ugly, bald-headed, bearded, white as a sheep man. I was like, state. And he'd done this video, yeah, after seeing this evidence of Tyson Fury, I finally know he's finished. He can never come back, and even if I would have fought him in his heyday, I'd have knocked him out. Before that, he was talking about Mike Tyson, how he'd knocked Mike Tyson out in a round. I thought to myself, that's very disrespectful to talk about someone who's not even from your era and wanting to fight them and all that sort of stuff. There's no possible chance. So, folks, like, you know what? If I ever do fight you, I'm going to give it you for that reason. And then when I saw this other video of him saying the things about me and that, I come back and that, it gave me that much more motivation to return. Just so I can beat Deontay Wilder.
For years, many believed a mythical bird was terrorizing Texan wastelands. Others think it was just a baker. But true.
So, I had all these court cases on as well. I was being charged with taking performance-enhancing drugs, nandrolone, something I'd never done. I had nandrolone in my system, it's produced naturally in the body. But they say my levels were elevated. The UKAD, UK anti-doping, said there was no case to answer. But all of a sudden I had a big WADA case on me. That took nearly 3 years to sort out. And everyone said, you're getting your hat nailed on here, son. Get a 12-year ban. I said, you know what?
12-year ban?
12 years. Not just for nandrolone, but I refused them as well. I was in a bad mood one day and the drug testing people come in the gym and I told them to fuck off.
This is when you were training?
This was when I was out of training, yeah. When I was just, all the time I was fat and out of shape and not training, I was still being random drug tested by UKAD. That's why I tested positive twice for cocaine. And everyone said, no, you're never getting back. The Boxing Board of Control suspended my licence in the UK for the cocaine use. So I had a court case looking at ban forever, basically. Suspension. The doctor made me medically unfit to fight. So that was after, I forgot about that bit. When I was rescheduling the Klitschko 2 fight, this psychiatrist phoned up and says, look, he is medically unfit. He can't fight anybody. He don't want to live. Never mind fight. So I was medically deemed unfit to box, suspended by the Boxing Board of Control for the cocaine use. And I had an nandrolone case on me and a refusal case. By the way, it was racking up millions of dollars in lawyers' fees too. But I was so confident that everything was gonna be okay, because when I was down on my knees, I just knew that it was gonna be okay. And everyone was like, what's the point in training and doing anything with you when you can't do anything, you're not in a position to do it? I said, everything's going to be all right, don't worry. Court case comes along in December. Go. They say, right, this court case is dragged on, insufficient evidence, get rid of it. We both agreed that we was going to call quits on the case. I go my way, they go theirs. They pay their legal fees, I pay my legal fees. Done. That was a drugs case out the window, finished. The suspension. Board of Control in the UK, and they said, look, if you can get past medically fit by a doctor mentally, then we'll reassess your case. Until then, denied. So I said, right, no problem. Phoned up with the psychiatrist, the same people who had spoke to, all these doctors, 3 or 4 different Dr. Phils, Dr. Jones, whoever else. Said, right, I need reassessing. Reassess me, bang, passed, flying colours. I went back to the Board of Control, handed in my certificate, by all these different doctors' examinations, physical and mental. He said, we have no other choice but to give you a licence reinstated. Bang. So it was 3 of the biggest obstacles in my life at once. We're all done within a month or 2, straight away. Then I just had the easy task of losing.
Podcast. Hello. Sleep good?
£160. Which, if I could have got over all them other things, losing weight as a fighter was something that I'd done natural anyway. So me and Ben said about losing £160. And on the way back up, spoke to Frank Warren, and he became the promoter. And Frank said, right, you've had a long time out the ring, you've abused your body. Let's get you 4 or 5 comeback fights, just so you're ready. I said, okay, no problem.
First down for this offense.
Combat fight. I said, Frank, I don't need any more combat fights. Make the Wilder fight now.
Time throwing on this drive.
No. He said, let's have a couple more just in case. And I'm telling you, make the Wilder fight. And this is where people don't understand. I picked Deontay Wilder. He didn't pick me. I picked him.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Using his legs, it's Thomas. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
6'3" like me and 7'8".
Early season top 25 matchups. You can get
intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume. That'll pay off big time and late in the season.
Quarterback will audible. The give to the back. Drag down.
First down.
Well, it's not a home run, but it's just enough by the running back to move the chains.
And the Golden Bears have it with a 1st and 10. When they've got him looking run, now to pass. Finds his man down the middle. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the 1st down. This conference has a history of getting wacky, and the last thing you need to do is get off to a slow start in ACC play.
And what does everybody talk about every year, right? Like conference games, how much they matter, the familiarity with everybody around you. You can only start this one time, so let's bring that energy, bring that momentum. Who wants to start the season off right?
Well, the ACC is a conference that feels like oftentimes it just goes down to the wire. And those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens. But you got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
He'll pull it down. He's run out of bounds.
Sure. I'm gonna get off for a second and clean the car, but after that, we can play Rainbow or something. Yeah, it's right. Marion, the baby, say hi. Yeah, they're trying to find shoes for the baby, but yeah, she just woke up from a nap. Alright, well, I'll let you know when I'm back on. I'll see you, bro. That's how games are won right there. They stop us to 4th and goal and we come through.
Line gets set, 1st down. He's looking to throw it. Trying to make magic on the scramble.
What?
No fear from this freshman.
Oh, you're little fast from when you were a little baby.
When things aren't open right away, he never panics. He just understands the situation where he is on the field, and he's so confident in his own natural ability that he has the ability to run, go get the 1st down, keep this drive rolling.
Hey, don't put your finger in there.
Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. He wants to throw. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
I think he did a really good job, first of all, keeping his eyes downfield. You could see he wanted to throw the football. But when it's not there, don't force it. Tuck it down. Get some positive yards.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Running back searching for a hole.
Looks very dirty.
Pass the marker for a 1st down, and that's the way we will wrap
I know.
up the 1st quarter.
No, there's a lot of stuff in there, though.
That's the end of the period, and Cal is on top. And we've come to the end of the 1st as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. They'll start the drive here with 1st down to open this period. Here we go. They're going to ride this running back. Able to squeeze out a couple on the play. It's down at the 35. You can set the tone for what's possible in your season in early season showdowns like this, both in the top 10 and both with the loftiest of goals.
This one's fun too, David, because we
What
had
was
this
it?
game circled in the offseason.
What was
We
it?
knew this was going to be a really good
Oh, I
matchup.
saw it.
We're going to find out
I thought that was the
answers to
one
a
you
lot of
already
questions we
found.
have about both these teams.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to figure that out, right? Like you don't get till mid-season, you're like, oh, they haven't played anybody.
Faults in it.
Andrew Wilson, he just went on Joe Rogan, and you found this amazing kind of like moment in there where something.
Get off of him! 25. You're a dog.
Because when I was younger, I was very cynical about religion, and then I've got older. One of the things that I always say is, if there was a pill that could make you as nice as
He's a senior, bro.
everybody would be on it. They are the nicest people you ever encounter. When you leave the church parking lot, or even when you're entering, everybody lets everybody in. It's like no one pushes ahead. It's like you.
I'll take the 2 yards.
It's like the most self-organized or most charitable
He's getting a little hurt, though.
lot I've ever experienced in my life. The opposite of a concert. A concert, everybody's like, everybody's bumper, trying to wheeze, and people are honking. In church, it's like one person goes, another person goes, no, you go, wave, and then everybody's fine and everybody's happy. It's like if you could take a pill that could do that to you, if therapy did that to you, should all be
Imagine out somebody.
At least he caught it. At least he caught it. We still got the game. I'm gonna look to you again, 41.
that you care about, that is valued. And
I'm gonna look to you again.
So much better in the communities. It's like, well, isn't it interesting how much they think about other people than just themselves and duties to those people that are just
the kindest people you're ever going to come across. And I think there's a lot of value in that. I think the people that are cynical about that, because they don't want to believe in fairy tales, or they don't want to be stupid, get duped by, like there's a foundation to that. If you just forget about some of the stuff that's in the Bible that, it gets weird when you get old. Like, you go back into the old stuff, because, like, sure, human beings had some sort of an influence on what was written down and what wasn't written down, but you get just to the teachings of Christ, I can't find any faults in it. Like, it's all about being kind. It's all about this idea that we're all in this together, and you're supposed to lift each other up and look after each other. It's not like you killed enough. It's not like you get to rape and pillage for
Reach for it.
That's why Christians believe in objective truth. That it must be objective truth, because otherwise, why is most people following this as though it's objective truth? You seem to be leaning towards this as this must be the thing which is objectively real and objectively true, and a thing which we can point to that is. Because when people are introduced to it, like you just said, it's really hard and difficult to find fault in it. It's not just that. It's interesting. If we reverse it, if we say, what could I do that actually would be best for me? It would still be that. So the funniest part of the whole thing is, like, in both ways it works for you, and even if it's not all about you, it works for you. It is all about
Hello.
the two.
It's definitely a better framework
Yeah.
for living your life. And
You look cute with those on, girl.
think of themselves as intelligent. They think of themselves as intelligent and fed and educated. I'm too smart for that. Too smart. I'm an atheist. Any atheist needs to take 8 grams of mushrooms. Just
do a little DMT.
little DMT, and you're like, oh, I don't know anything. You know things. You don't know all.
Touchdown.
Experienced, and I think that the world is better off if people have a great ethical framework. I think in ethics and being kind is one of the most important values that human beings
Right in that needle, bro.
Productive and healthy community.
Like, let's just assume for a second. Let's just assume it's all nonsense. Every bit of it is just totally made up. We just made it up, right? But we all acted as though it was true. If it's the case that your whole framework is that we just want a society that
works well and does the best it can possibly do for everyone, then shouldn't you, by your own framework, just pretend it's true?
Right. Yeah.
Shouldn't you just act as though it's true anyway?
Jordan Peterson had a very good point about believing in God. That if you act as if God is real, you will have a better life. Like it works. It does work.
Almost like a universal truth.
Yeah, it's very fascinating. It's fascinating that people that are self-professed atheists, people that think of themselves as too intelligent for religion, won't acknowledge that.
These teachings will benefit you if you apply them. If you do them, it's better to not live for yourself, to live for others. Even if you want, like Andrew's argument is, even if you don't want to reverse engineer it by living for others, that's actually going to benefit you if you care about living for you. But that still doesn't, that doesn't make it true because it's good. There's a lot of things that are good that don't make it, objective or ultimate truth. So I know I feel mixed. I hear talk about the teachings of Jesus, and I go, I absolutely love that he's acknowledging the beauty, because he grew up a cynic, and now he's going, no, actually, there's something beautiful here. But that's still not enough to believe, probably, for the skeptic. Well, what's interesting about it is if willing to acknowledge that Jesus has basically the most profound and innovative moral teachings of any philosopher or religious leader on planet Earth. And there was this person who came along, he was a rabbi, his name was Jesus, and he had these amazing moral teachings that people believed and followed, and it kind of changed the world. It allowed things to be a lot better in the world. If you go there and then you go, well, that same person, that same Jesus character from history also said that he was the son of David, the son of man, according to Daniel, and he said that he and the Father are one. He said that he is
Get
the
in
way,
there.
the truth, and the life. He said that he is the bread of life. He said that his body will be broken for the sins of the world. He had said of him by John the Baptist, behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And and he went, and John was his best friend.
Yeah,
He was like,
our
that's right, I understand.
defense
He
is
was worshipped on, I think, 11
crazy.
accounts throughout the Gospels, and every single time went, you're starting to get the hang of it. Bartimaeus, the blind man, comes to him, the one person who can see, and says, "Son of David, have mercy on me, a sinner." And he heals him. He restores his sight, and then Bartimaeus goes and follows him he's heading back to Jerusalem in that scene, heading back to Calvary, and Bartimaeus follows him, and he's basically acknowledging, this guy understands that I am the son of David, and I'm capable of giving mercy. So, all of that in view, you cannot just say that Jesus is a moral teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the source that you're using to base that claim on also includes within it his claims, his unique claims at being the unique Son of God, at being the Son of Man according to Daniel, at being the Messiah, and ultimately at claiming to be God himself.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the C.S. Lewis trilemma of unfortunately, it's not that easy. You can't just say it's a good moral teacher. You actually have to face the totality of what was recorded about this historic person named Jesus.
Yeah.
The greatest moral teacher of all time, and claims to be God.
Joe's journey from he was a stand-up comedian, mocking Christians, mocking Jesus. There's so many clips you can kind of pull right now that just summarize his view of Christians. And then he's going, man, if you could take a pill and be as nice and kind as these people are, everyone would take that pill. If you could have as much peace as they have, if you could have as but to me, it's weird. I feel always mixed on this because I want people to have peace and hope and joy, but there are offer peace or hope or joy, but it doesn't mean that they have the right conclusion about Jesus. So there's a side of it where I'm pragmatism is good, but it's not everything. So I hear this clip and I go, I'm so glad he's seeing the beauty of Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to just view scriptures pragmatically and says, does this work? That might be beneficial to your life. Like the book of Proverbs, a non-Christian or Christian can read it, apply it, it's going to benefit everyone's life. There might be wisdom there, wisdom literature. But there's a difference between is this wise and is this true? Ultimate truth, ultimate reality, the thing that defines me. So I'm like, oh, you're
no. There's also something interesting in there. It reminds me of when Wes Huff went on the Flagrant podcast and was talking to Andrew Schultz, and toward the end of that conversation, Andrew Schultz basically says, my problem with Christianity is that it makes this claim that it's good news, and it makes this claim that it's capable of making you feel good about yourself and being happy. But in order to get you there, it first has to make you feel like a POS. And he goes, but I already feel good about myself. So why would I need to believe this message in order to feel like a POS, in order to then again feel good about myself? I'm already there. And
That's the
I kind of
game,
have that
folks.
like clip in the back of my mind almost at all times, because I think he just articulated the way that the culture thinks about things. And there's like an assumption within that the goal is to feel good about yourself. Yeah. That the goal is basically to be happy in the temporary years of your life on planet Earth. And that is actually not the goal of Christianity, to make you feel good about yourself. The goal of Christianity is to bring you into right relationship with your creator, to allow for you to be suitable for a perfectly as far as I understand, that's the purpose of the incarnation. Yeah. That where Adam fell, Christ would not fall. That where mankind was cursed, the curse would come upon him hung on a tree. And on throughout the book of Romans. The main point of the incarnation was for Christ to die as a person for all people, so that all might be saved. And so it's just a different goal than that you would feel good about yourself. It's no, that you would be given the righteousness of Christ. God made Christ, who knew no sin, to be sin for you, so that you might become the righteousness of God in Christ. So that's a really important point. Like it's not about your temporary happiness. It's about the it's about you being given a new nature that is suitable for your creator, so that you can be with him for all time, because all have fallen short of the glory of God. All have missed the mark. No one on planet Earth is morally perfect, and yet our creator is. How does an imperfect join with the perfect? How does an unholy join?
Probably. And nothing else to do.
No, mom's gonna put on your feet. I have to find your shorts. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hello.
Say hello.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
Yo, that was a fucking joke. What? Give him a hug. Give me a hug.
Yeah, because it's probably nothing. Who's it from? Nothing, right? That's what they kept sending over and over, so I just stopped it. Yeah, because you were actually writing.